Hi, I'm Allie. Join me as I create these beautiful little quick pearl earrings by Sheryl. You can make them in a ton of variety, lots of different materials to be used, and make them your own by adding or subtracting from the top and the bottom. If you need any materials, go ahead and look below the video in the description, and then I'll give you links to shop with us online. Gather up your materials and your bead on it board, and let's get started. So to start with these beautiful, simple little pearl earrings by Sheryl, we are going to begin with our 4mm pearls. I also have here that I included one of my 2mm bicones in the middle. Sheryl just did 15s, and then I included a 4 at the top just to make it a little bit more pizzazz on my pair, make it a little bit longer. Either way works. And you're going to begin with some size 6 or 8 dragon thread, along with 4mm pearls. You can certainly do this with other sizes, but just try out the different measurements as you're working with it. What we're going to do is simply tie those 4 into a knot at the end of our thread. I have about a 2-inch tail left on that piece, just so that way I can tie to it after I'm finished the project. I'm going to sew through the next pearl here, and we are going to do our middle X. So this middle X is the same as a lot of the beads. It's just taking this right angle unit right here and decorating it. Coming out the top 4 there, I'm going to add 1 15, one of my 2mm bicones, and another one of my 15. I'm coming out the top right of that pearl. I'm going to go into the bottom left of the pearl that sits on the bottom here. Push those 3 beads to the top and give a nice tight pull. Grab a 15, sew back through that same bicone bead. Grab another 15 and sew through that pearl that was at the top from the left now coming out the right. So you're making a simple X on the top. And just before you go too far, push all your beads to the top of the bead. We want it to sit on top of the pearls. And give a nice tight pull with your thread to make sure that sits at the top. From here, we're going to decorate the outside of our pearls. You're going to pick up 6 15-0 seed beads onto your needle. And once you have 6 on the needle, you're going to sew into the opposite side of that same pearl bead. Pull that needle and thread through. And those beads are going to sit kind of right on the top of the pearl there. Next, we're going to sew through the next pearl and repeat again. 6 beads go on and sew down through that pearl on the right. Through the next pearl and 2 more loops, adding in 6 beads that sit to the top of each pearl. So once you're done adding in those 6 beads to the top of each little pearl crust here, we're going to get ready to connect them all into that diamond shape. And it's going to be tight and they're actually going to pull to the back. So what I want to do is, coming out of my pearl, I'm going to sew back up through my 6 seed beads that I just put on the needle. Once you're exiting those 6 seed beads, you are going to grab another 15 and sew through the next set of 6. Once again, coming out the next set of 6, grab another 15, sew through the next set of 6. However, right now, I'm going to sew through 2. I'm going to skip going the whole way around and adding in, and I'm going to add the top and the bottom as I'm doing this. So go ahead and sew through the first 2 beads of that set of 6. Grab 1 and 2 more 15s. Grab your briolette here. 2 more 15s. Skip over the middle 2 15s here, and we're going to connect to beads number 5 and 6. So we came out after the first 2 at the bottom. We're skipping over 3 and 4, and we're sewing up 5 and 6 after adding our 2 15s and our little drop here. Coming out those beads 5 and 6, then grab another 15, over to the bead that's going to sit in the right, and through those 6 beads that sit on that side here. After going through those 6, we have 1 more to add. And same deal here at the top. We're going to sew through the first 2 beads on that top pearl, get our needle to exit. Here at the top, we are going to choose to either put your wire guard on right away like Sheryl did, or in mine, we're adding a seed bead and then our 4mm bead to that. Add a 15, your 4mm bicone. Going through there. Grab your wire guard. Go up through the wire guard. Once you're through that wire guard then, you're going to come down through the wire guard on the opposite side. And at the same time, you may want to pinch that wire guard closed a little bit so it's more of a teardrop shape on top of the crystal. So I go in with my pliers. I just very gently make sure I'm on the outside and just give a little pinch, pushing that wire guard in. From here, go back down through the bicone and then pull it down towards your project. Once you have that down towards your project, because you don't want any extra thread showing, make sure that your thread is still in the loop there of the wire guard. Coming out then, grab 1 more 15, skip over beads 3 and 4 of that top group of 6, and sew into beads 5 and 6, and then down towards the side. These earrings are so light. Honestly, I'm not even worrying about doing a little bit of reinforcement on my wire guard. I know I usually always tell you to reinforce it, but it is so darn light, and I'm using a thicker thread. So from here, you want to push those seed beads kind of towards the back, pull that piece in, go through 6 seed beads that sit on this left-hand side here, and then we're going to tuck into our pearl. So I know it's a tiny little piece, a little bit hard to see here because my fingers are covering it. But once you get through those 6 seed beads, you're going to get ready then. And sew through the pearl. Go in there, sew back through the original pearl here. And bring your thread all the way around that original pearl loop till you get to your starter thread. So for this one, it's not very far because it's right on the other side. And then we're going to tie our 2 thread ends together and burn it off towards the back. So you can see my knot is right there, or my thread starter, sorry, is right there. So to the other side here, pull that knot toward the back. Tie those 2 thread ends together at the back. Once, twice, and then burn those thread edges down again towards the back of the project. It'll sit a little bit domed, that your pearls go to the front, seed beads go towards the back. They look like a bezel. And your crystal will sit right up next to the project, both the one at the top and the one at the bottom. They look like they're cascading just down from. Grab an ear wire, open it up by turning to the side here. Slide on your wire guard, which gives it such a professional look, and then close up your wire guard to finish. So simple, so cute, and can be done in tons of different colors. Use some different beads in the middle. Play around with different sizes as well. And make sure to share your own additions, subtractions, and your own style in our Facebook group for beading and jewelry making. Thanks so much for watching, and thank you to Sheryl, our in-house designer, for her inspiration for these amazing quick pearl earrings. Remember, you can use different size, different beads, and if you want to check out our full supply in stock, go ahead and look below the video. There's the links in the description. As always, don't forget to subscribe. We don't want to miss anything here at Potomac Beads. Thanks so much for watching, Potomac Beaders, and stay tuned for our next inspirational design.